Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. It's been one of those type of days. So, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. We are rolling out the red carpet and welcoming you into our space and our homes. As always, be respectful. Of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you all can stop texting me and inboxing me and saying, "Is it time yet?" You'll already know because you'll get the notification when I make the post for us to be having the show. So, tonight we have us as usual. I am Madam, and I am going to allow my partner to introduce himself.
Welcome back, y'all. Thursday night, turn up. Famous homie here with Madam. Once again, y'all can hear our crazy ass objective opinions about these motherfucking topics as I, sip on a little something.
Basically, that's it. That's all we have to give is opinions based on experience, common sense,
Mm-hmm.
morals, and values. It really doesn't take much. Really doesn't take much. Yeah. So we're going to ask that you apply the same. Make sure that you absolutely speak when you come in, just like you would speak when you walk into anybody's home. And then also, absolutely join in the comments, especially the men. I will give um, an update, I guess, on Tuesday for Twinning Tuesday. We are going to have men join. So I've already reached out to a couple that will be joining. And as well, we met after the show and wrote down some questions that we have so that we could send them out to some males that we knew could not be on the show, but they contributed to the last show. So that one's going to be a good one. Because y'all know Rose, we might have to mute her because she going to be yelling at people. Of course, it's always only her. She goes, "That's bullshit." So we will see how it goes. So tonight's topic, and actually mostly all of them for this month, will be about males. So this is Mental Health Month. So we want to highlight and focus on males because the male is the leader and the head of the home, the family, and the household. And so if he is okay, wife and kids are okay, baby mama and kids are okay. And so we want to see what they need to be okay because we ain't okay. Because
we ain't okay.
Yeah. So I will start with, I looked up some, but I will start with the famous homie letting us know. I think I'm going to grill him. So what is one thing that if you summarize what you would look for in your ideal wife or forever partner?
Oh shit, I was thrown off guard with that one. But you know what? I've discovered that I like, of course, a woman that's that's tentative and that's naturally has a natural instinct to nurture. And I mean nurture in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? Like having children and stuff like that. I need somebody that's going to be nurturing and tentative. That's going to be making sure or trying to make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crosses in terms of how the kids are being cared for and the things like that. Of course, trustworthy. I want someone that is ambitious, that has their own goals aside from mine, and we have goals together, of course, but has their own goals and has their not idea, but the want to be, have their own identity. Of course, it's going to be we, but yes, I do want a woman that's very strong and want their own identity. And someone that you could absolutely trust. What's the famous bar that says, "I'd rather have you trust"? Is it Kendrick? Yeah, I'd rather have you trust me than to love me. I won't say that I'd rather have one over the other, but I think they both go hand in hand. So yeah, I would want someone that's obviously family oriented, that gets along with their parents. I don't want to deal with problems that beefs with. You gotta love your parents, and some people can't. I get it. Some people had a different path, but I'm not here to help you heal through that. I want somebody that's already, done with that and has a great relationship with their family. That's my ideal wife, and that's going to make sure overall that I'm okay because I'm going to return the same energy. So I hope I answered that correctly, or you know, in
There
the
is
right.
no correct answer.
well, I'm saying like in a way for people to understand
Yes.
a whole bunch of different things, but just off the top of my head, those are things that's going to be more important to me. Someone that also wants to become like this may be a cliche, but like a power couple. Like we both individually the shit, but together now we that like Michelle and Brock or J and B. You know what I'm saying? Like I want somebody to be that for me. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I really like that. So now let me dig into it because um one thing that you said that stood out, and I think that is perfect. I'm going to go to it first because it's probably not the typical answer that somebody would want to hear. However, it is a very open, honest, direct, and I appreciated answer. You said if they don't have a good relationship with their parents, because some people don't have that ability, they have healed from it.
Yes.
You don't have the time to do
Yeah.
that. That is not what you are here for. Let me tell you. Because if this here our age, by this time, you should have healed because most people are parents already. And so in order to be a good and effective parent, a good and effective employee, friend, all of those things, relationships that have the ability to alter your life, you do have to heal because that is true. Not some people's parents is on drugs. There are some people who have been touched by their parents. Parents are human, just like a pastor, right? You could. It's hard to wrap our mind around it, but that's the reality, right? So, at a certain point, if you have tried, you have to then determine either I'm going to deal with them in this way, and since I don't like it, I need a therapist to help me to be okay in this space, or I can't deal with them, and I still need a therapist to help me in this space.
Facts.
That is the reality. That
Facts.
is a fair thing because if in today's society, it is not any longer where it's a cliche or Black people don't get therapy. That's no more because it's so many people. Oh, my therapist said, and you almost want to tell them, well, are you lying to your therapist? Because
right, because your therapist says
it's become a hashtag at this point.
Yeah.
You're not doing the work still. So it's no reason why people are not getting therapy outside of they don't have the resources. But I would say that's at the top of the list. That's an amazing one.
Yes, I forgot.
How did you come to that one? Like, tell us more. Uh-oh. He'll be back. That's a really good one, guys, because if you don't have, I will say the saying, how can you love somebody if you don't love yourself? I don't agree with that one because you can love somebody else so much that it pulls you into loving yourself. It shows you what love looks like for you, especially just think a parent that has a child, and that's a whole different type of love. Somebody that is in a relationship and gets married, that's a whole different type of love that maybe they didn't experience before. So it opens them up to understanding, feeling, get a taste. So then you can love somebody else without necessarily loving yourself. It can pull you into loving yourself better. But this one, the healing one, I think that if you are not healed and it's something that's controlling your life, it's a stronghold. So I don't think that one is, I think that should be at the top of the list for everybody. So now that Ronald's back, I'll let him talk.
Yeah, sorry, someone called me. I don't know why StreamYard hasn't corrected that. It doesn't just throw your whole, screen
I
off.
know.
So annoying, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. But I wanted to say the other side to that too that I couldn't deal with. Also, someone having parents, and particularly mamas, that's all up in their business and kind of running over them. I can't have a woman that let her mama run over. And I'm not saying to disrespect your mother or to cuss your mother out, but she has to have that mutual respect for you as a woman and not try to be all up in your relationship. And if we happen to, slip up and have a little, not argument, but disagreement, she's not jumping in, cussing me out and trying to swing on me I can't have that. Like, your mama got to respect me. I'm going to respect her. Your daddy got to respect me. I'm going to respect him. So that's the other side of that. But to get back to what you said, what you were touching on, just being in past situations where, somebody don't get along with their mama, then you get involved with that. You get involved with the beef, and now you and the mama don't like each other, and now y'all can't barely come to family functions or can't barely be in the same room at the same time. Having you have kids with this person. Say you have kids and you guys don't get along. Are we gonna have that support? Because let's be real. Raising children, you need a village, and if you don't have a strong relationship with your parents, that's a big part of your village right there are the grandparents. And if y'all don't get along, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are we gonna have a strong, people, a lot of grandparents are responsible for raising a lot of these kids or being a big part of their lives. And, unfortunately, I never had a grandfather that was around me. And then my grandmother, I didn't really,
Right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think the grandparent relationship is important. I think
It is.
that will hinder it. And like you said, it's the top of the list. I don't have time to, at my age, turning 40, you see, or deal with somebody that, oh, I can't stand my mama. She get on my damn nerve. I ain't ever talking to her again every 2 weeks. Like, I don't want to go back and forth with that, man. I want to have a solid, because I think that's important, because that's how you can learn. I think the cycle can continue. If we have a daughter, let's say, you might be that way with your daughter, and then the cycle continues, and I don't want that. So, I want a strong infrastructure with the family. I want all that to be right, because, that's a battle that you have to deal with for the rest of your lives. And frankly, at this age, that's something that I'm not trying to do.
I think that is a really good one, especially all the things that you called out, because it is important. That impacted me in my marriage, and I will share this story because it just actually turned around. So my husband doesn't really talk to one of his aunts who didn't come to our wedding. I didn't know, but they don't really talk like that. But I didn't know this. So me joining the family, I didn't know what any beasts were because Mark actually didn't talk like that. So I didn't know, but I speak to everybody. It's my elder. So I'm going to speak. That's how we was raised. That's not how they are in their family. They will like not talk to each other, mother, daughter cross. I've never seen nothing like this in my life. But she, one day at my goddaughter's birthday, she like got really disrespectful with me and everything, and I just shut down. I didn't respond. I didn't say nothing. I didn't nothing. Going forward for 2 years, if I saw her and she came to Hilda's house, I would speak. She wouldn't speak. I still didn't be respectful because I wasn't raised like that. You didn't put your hands on me. You didn't jump in my face. So, it's no, I mean, did I like it? No, but I would just respectfully, like leave or whatever. Well, recently I was at Hilda's house, and this time she was like talking to me, and I just talked back. I'm not gonna, I don't know. It's my elder. It's not like she called me a bitch or not to my face. It did any of those things. So when she talked, I just talked back or whatever. And then before she got ready to leave, with everybody present, and that's important. It was her stepson, her husband, Hilda, me. I think it was us. And in front of everybody, she just took both of my hands and was like, I want to apologize. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve what I did to you. Right. She was like, you didn't deserve what I did to you. I didn't even give you a chance. I was really mean. I'm just so sorry. And I was like, it's okay, Auntie. I was like, I accept. No, I didn't say it's okay because it wasn't okay. I said, I accept your apology, Auntie. And she was like, she just started smiling and she was like, I'm so happy to everybody clapped and all of that. But this particular person, from my understanding, never apologizes to anybody. But my thing is, once you play into toxic situations, now they don't feel the need to apologize because it's a back and forth.
Right.
But our parents taught us, because somebody acts that way, you don't have to act that way. That way you stay on the side where you didn't do anything. But to have that apology, I was like, I can't even believe that just happened. Like, I was floored because this person does not apologize, like, at all. And she did, and I moved forward. Now she invited me to stuff and all of that. But the sad thing is, she missed out on things that she wanted to do because Hilda and I do things, and we do things with her mom, my mom. I'm a family person.
Right.
So I'm going to include everybody. If you apologize, I'm going to accept it. If I apologize, I would hope that you accept it. And it's no need to talk any further. Just move forward. In those situations where you do need to have a conversation, have one. But for me, it wasn't, because I don't know. It was no back and forth. It was nothing. You simply thought because you and my husband didn't talk that I had some ulterior motive, or you thought I meant stuff by what I was saying, but I didn't know nothing. I actually didn't know. So, and Hilda had been telling her the whole time. So it was on her heart, and she did it, and we just moved forward. So that toxicity, it does expand across relationships, and people become a casualty, and it's just not fair. And that's been the case for me, as you know, with almost everybody in his family. And I'm like, I didn't do nothing to you. Why are you treating me like that? I'm a whole grown ass woman. I got married at 36.
Right.
I'm a whole for real grown ass woman.
Right.
I'm not kissing nobody's ass. And a lot of his family felt like you supposed to come in and kiss their ass. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm going to be respectful. I'm going to be inclusive. I'm going to grow to love you. I have to get to know you. I'm not buying nobody. I'm not none of those things. And you're not imposing your life on me. I'm grown, and this is our household where we build. So to your point, even if him and I get into something, none of my family has never said nothing to him other than to call in to pray or to, do you need something? But that family is very involved when it's not pretty, but not involved when it's going well. So it travels generations. So you're right.
It does. It was good to hear that she actually got it off, though, because a lot of people will die with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's good, man. The older you get, you definitely start thinking about things that you could do better, because we're all not perfect. You know what I'm saying? And, we get to reflecting, and I get to the reflective moment at 39. I could imagine being 59 and 65 and 70. You're super reflecting, and you're like, damn, like,
right.
Done this.
You're a matriarch at that point. You're the You're the head. Without you, it starts with y'all. If y'all don't do it, all the other generations,
they're gonna continue it. They're gonna continue it. When you get it off, even getting it off before death, I could share with my kid's mother's mother. We didn't have the best relationship, but I never let it get to the point where I disrespected her or called her out her name.
Right.
Or I didn't do all you already know, like you said, you already know how we were raised. And just so happens, I want to say a week or two before she passed, she hasn't really, talked to my children much before then, or myself, but she was calling to check on my son, and she talked to him, and then she said, pass your daddy the phone. And then she passed the phone to me, or he passed the phone to me, and she didn't really directly apologize, but I understood what she was saying. It was like
a humble person is gonna accept it.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, she told me how great of a job I was doing with her grandchildren, and she appreciated me, taking care of her daughters. And like, she told me some things, and she was like, just promise me you're gonna keep doing it. And that was it. She said, you did a good job, and I got respect for that. I respect you for that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And she was gone in 2 weeks. She got COVID, and that right there, she was able to get it off. She didn't take that to her grave, literally. She got that off before she checked out. So I thought that was big of her to do that. And I don't have any ill will towards her. You know, we did. She did, was a part of a hard process and a hard part of life. But, you know, she apologized pretty much. And, you know, after that point, we could have moved forward. You know, I was going to take the kids to see her, not knowing she was going to pass, but I was going to take them to see her. But unfortunately, she got up out of here. And, you know, I was, you know, honored to be a part of that, you know, healing and moving forward and stuff like that. It's important because it will continue. The cycle will continue, man.
It will continue. And the other side of that is, I don't care what nobody says. If you truly love somebody, and even if you don't, when it's somebody that you love and their partner, let's just say, because you love them, then you do care if you hurt the person that they're with. And so God told you a long time ago. God actually told you probably as soon as some stuff left your mouth. God was telling you, that's not okay. Stop. Apologize. So many don't apologize because they think, well, I'm not giving them the upper hand. I'm not doing this. So now you just added a sin on top of a sin, because your job is to apologize. The character of the other person will show in how they accept it. Some things are so big that it will take some people some time. But most people, and this is the reality, I'm glad we're talking about it as far as extended family members. When you're in a marriage, when you're with somebody that you have kids with, you don't accept what they do, but you forgive them because your heart would prefer to forgive them and move forward and leave the others. You don't want to deal with that at all. You want to bury that. Let's talk about the solution, how we can move forward better. And that's it. You don't want to talk about, well, you did this and you did that. You don't want that. So when you get that apology, it's like, cool, now we could just live the life I wanted to live. Now we could just move forward. It takes a lot of burden off the person that didn't do nothing too, because you're steady wondering, like, why me? What did I do? Why are you? I don't care what nobody says. All these people talking about, I don't care. That's not true. You do care. Nobody wants to just be not liked for no reason.
Right.
You don't, unless the person is so far away that you don't see them, but you care.
You definitely care, for sure. I definitely feel like I care. Like, you have to, like, you know what I'm saying? When you're in a situation where someone's parents don't like you, like, of course you care. Like,
or a family member.
Yeah, you might not let it affect you or publicly, but, you know,
right.
by yourself, you feel like shit. Like, damn, like, what can I do to get this person to give me a chance or to like me? Like,
can you say that again? What can I do? Because you do.
You know what I'm
saying?
It
ain't begging somebody to love you. It's okay. Maybe if I show them, maybe they don't know. Maybe their family is different. So maybe if I show them, like, that was what I was thinking. That's been my whole thing through all of the things that I've gone through in my marriage. I'm not snapping back. I'm not snapping back because I don't desire to hurt somebody. That's just my reality. You could call me weak. You could call me a punk. You could call me whatever you want, but that ain't it. Because we know I will slap the shit out of somebody too. But I don't feel like you deserve it. I feel like, what is that? What's that sweet spot? What is wrong? What can I do? Like you said, and I'm willing to put down my pride and all those things and try different things. Because when you got married, you said for better or for worse, you said those things. And some people say, well, it is not for the family. You married that person. You did marry that person. But if that person is important to your spouse, then that's an extension of the love that you're doing it for them.
For sure.
Because that's one of the things I had to tell somebody, like, I love my husband. I've been with my husband all this time. He's invested in me and I've invested in him. I don't have an investment in you yet. So quite honestly, I personally don't care if I never see you again. But that's how I feel about some of the toxic ass people in my own family. I don't care if I see you again. Right. That's my reality. But he cares. And I don't want him to be in situations where he feels like I have to choose. My wife isn't welcome, because his family is very much so like that. There's a big divide, and it's not okay. And that's why I talk about the intervention of a covenant of a marriage. But regardless, with all the things that I've been through and the handful of people that know, not one of them have snapped back, gone on their social media, reached out to them, nothing. Not one single thing. And they're not going to, because I don't have hateful people in my family. I just don't. As long as you don't put your hands on me, or, but everybody's family love them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, but at the end of the day, they just prefer, you know, the family, you have expressed it. Y'all would just prefer for me to be happy in my marriage. That's what I have, because that's what I had until people got involved. And it hurts like hell. And
Yep.
you know that. That's a story for another day that we would talk about, because it's a story for another day. But that's a really big one, because it hurts like hell. It does.
That part.
So one of the other things that you mentioned is the team player, basically. The wife being the helpmate. I think that right. It hurts like hell, and it could put you in danger. It can, because when people are overly involved only for yeah, I just want to be happy. I just want my life back, because this right now that I'm living is not my life. And I'll leave it at that, because I do not want to cry. Because it hurts like hell. And I'm very transparent. But I refuse to give life to that, because I said for better or for worse, and I love my husband with my whole entire heart. So, one of the other things that you said was the team player part. So, women are supposed to be a helpmate, and for those who don't know, the mother of Ron's children, most of the time she was an at-home mom, but I don't know. Some of you may have heard, and if you haven't, a good Black story is good to tell. My aunt and uncle that have been married forever, my Uncle Ronald, that's the football coach and has been at a million schools, his wife worked for PBS before they got married. And obviously with that type of career, it was better for her to stay at home, because you have to move, and corporate with that type of job is a little bit hard unless your spouse is going to be away. Well, she made the decision to sacrifice working, and so she goes wherever he goes. So the partnership of it was, she is the house manager, and paid as such, and gets a part of his bonus and all of those things. When you're at home mom, you're a really big part of the team. You are the family's manager. You make it so that this man could go out and come in and do the things that he needs to do. And he still contributes when he gets home, but it looks a little bit different, and he makes sure he take care of you. And so I just wanted to touch on that really quickly, because you have afforded that in a space that wasn't very conventional for that to be afforded. That it doesn't mean that you're rich. Because the names you mentioned are rich, but there are other power couples that have just enough.
Right.
But they feel like the mom staying home, or the dad with the kids, is the wealth of the family for a bit. So each person just needs to carry their weight as a really good teammate.
That's it. That's it. Everybody has to play their part, and you know what I mean. We can't. I would never put down someone, like you said. Nowadays, it could be stay-home dads, whoever is the whatever role. I will never knock a couple for whatever role that is. You got a stay-home dad or a stay-home mom. As long as you playing that part right, you are doing your part. You know what I'm saying? You taking care of them kids. You know, to the best of your ability. You know, you can make sure the house is in order. You know what I mean, or whatever the arrangement is. You know, I know people do things differently. But whatever your arrangement is, you're doing your part. You're doing your part. We can't say that you suck or you sorry because you don't have a job. Like, that's not the issue. The issue is having a partner as a helpmate. That's going to sharpen you as a knife. That's going to send you out there as a whole knife, as a sharp knife. You know what I'm saying? Not going to send you out there dull. You know what I mean? You need that at home. Your home is a sanctuary. You know, that's your protection. That's your recovery. That's your replenishment place. You know, just like people go to church, they get filled back up. They feel like they're good for the week. They get replenished. When you get home from work, that's where your energy literally get replenished to go back to work the next day to do it again. So you need home. If home is all out of whack and you come home, you ain't gonna be right for the outside world. And I'm telling you that from experience. You can't perform at maximum level. You can't achieve at maximum level. It's impossible because you're fighting two battles. You're fighting the world when you go out there, especially as a black man. And then when you come home, if you gotta fight your home when you come home, where's your energy to rest and replenish? Now you going to work. Let's say it's 100% battery life. You going to work on 20%, and you got to do a whole job.
Sometimes negative.
Sometimes you ain't got shit, and you still got to get your ass up, because if you don't, then you're without a home. So,
and then she gonna call you no good.
She gonna call you no good,
but not mention she didn't do her part.
Exactly. So you out there struggling to get to work, or you late, or you get caught sleeping at work because you was so tired. Now it looks bad on you. Like, what is he doing? Like, well, how come he getting in trouble, or how come he can't? It's a whole lot of things. But then if home ain't right, it's it's impossible to continue. So like you said, the helpmate thing is a huge thing. Whatever that looks like, we have to both be doing our parts, and there has to be reciprocity. I have to have reciprocity in my relationship. It has to be, you scratch my back, I'm gonna scratch yours. You kiss me, I'm gonna kiss you. We gotta have each other's back. If it ain't like that, if you don't got my back the way I got yours, we can't be together, period. I don't care how fine you is, how much money you got, how good your stuff is. Like, I can't sacrifice that for nothing.
So one thing Mom said is knowing your role. Yes, that's really important. A lot of these people that stay at home, I'll do people's because just like you just said, a black person, and like you just said, it could be a mom or a dad. They don't know their role. There are so many women that you ask, well, what makes you a good woman? Well, I cook and I clean. I would never start with those things. I would never. You have to cook and clean because you're a human. You would have to do that whether I'm here or not. That when did that become one of the things? So the things that you're looking for, like I said on our show on Tuesday, one of the benefits that I think for myself when I got married is that I don't need somebody to take care of me. I need somebody to care for me. And that to me is the wealth. That's the charge. That's the everything. I was a go-getter before I got married, but I tapped into my desires when I got married. And those were the nonprofit, becoming a Delta, doing the production company, YouTube, all of those things made me feel like I could fly, because he made me feel like I was the most beautiful woman on this planet. I was just amazing. And when your partner fuels that into you, it's dynamic. It's a charge like no other. Is really important to your mental health for that person to be connected. So even if you're the one that's outside of the home, when you come home, it can't just be about you. It can't just be that you work and then you come home and it's like you want the kids to be quiet, everything done. You still got to walk in and give some of your juice too, because your love is needed. Your presence is needed. So that's why creating a balanced environment allows for, when it's time for family, that everybody step to the plate when it's time for family. A little caveat to that is that's also why children should have chores and things like that, because they should be contributors too. They should have a role, a position. Those things teach them responsibility. They shouldn't be your at-home babysitter, but they should damn well know how to watch those kids if you need to run out. Do it just because. I think a lot of us took it out because we was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that on my kids. It ain't they kids. No, but it's their responsibility. You are your brother's keeper. You are your sister's keeper. So I think we missed the mark, and that was a lesson for us to learn. Yes, you must have trust. Security is a must on both sides. I need to be secured that when you leave this home, that you are still thinking about this home and you are not allowing anything to infiltrate this home and break what we have as well, because the devil is on a mission. And now with the channels that are available, social media, cell phones, all this other stuff. And if your partner trusts you, they're not looking at all of those things. So you could potentially be leading a double life and your partner wouldn't know because they're not looking for those things. They're not supposed to. Let's see. Is the security from a partner for me, and not just monetary value? Nope. I'd rather be living paycheck to paycheck comfortably than have an excess of money and somebody thinks they're more than what they are. Somebody believes they can cheat. Somebody starts attacking the other person and it changes their personality or brings out bad things. I would rather not have that. It's a no for me. I've had both and I would, y'all know my answer.
There's no way. There's no way I could do anything. There's no way I could sacrifice my dignity or, my sense of my respect level for
Come on.
somebody that got some
money. I can't be bought.
I can't be bought. I would rather, like you said, live paycheck to paycheck by myself, or I would rather struggle by myself than to have somebody with money that's hanging over my head, that they got money so they could do what the fuck they want, or they could talk to me a certain way, or they could demean me. I refuse. I will never. I don't care, man. I don't care if you're 100 millionaire. I'm not taking that shit. I don't care. Like, it don't move me like that. So,
nope.
Some people can do it. Some people can sacrifice,
but then they,
to get taken care of and to look good on social media. And a lot of people can do that, but me.
And that's why they so poor.
Exactly.
That's why they so poor, because I can say it from a place of it actually being opportunities out there for me like that. There was one boyfriend pre-med. I loved him. I had two first loves my whole life. And one of them I let go because his ego, it was getting insane to where he thought he didn't even need to speak to people. He wanted to separate us. And I didn't like that. And so that person, eventually, we just didn't talk anymore. And I wish him well. And he ate a whole lot of humble pie. I will tell you that, because the person that he got with damn near looked identical to me, down to the haircut and everything. And she chased him down LAX strip while you're trying to get away from ghetto people. I'm just saying, you got what you asked for. It's not cool. And then another one was involved in a particular lifestyle, and the offer was, and this offer was made not on some ego stuff. They just felt like they could have it and that's what they wanted. I'm going to be with you. You're going to be my primary person. I'll come home every night. I want you to stop working. I'll pay for you to go to school and you can have whatever you want. You're going to be my primary, but I'm going to do what I want to do from time to time. Amazing offer. So that person left my house that morning and I didn't talk to them for quite a few years. The way that they got me was, my mom called me one day and said, somebody's here that want to talk to you. And the person was on the phone. And I love the person with my whole heart, but that wasn't for me. I'm not for sale. I'm not. I want one husband. I want one boyfriend. I don't do the sharing thing. That's called courting. When you dating, you do that. It wasn't for me. So my soul isn't for sale. No. It isn't by any means.
Absolutely not. Nothing. No part of me is for sale. No part of me. Not my soul, not my body, not my physical part. I'm not for sale. I'm not about to be bought. You're not about to buy me. You're not about to. There's no way I can do that. You can throw the money in my face right now and I'm going to turn it down every time, because I'm not going to let anybody, feel like they can control me like that. And like I said, a lot of people do that, and I'll be looking at them like, damn, it look good on social media. You know what I'm saying? You driving this, or you living in this, or you doing this, or you doing that. But how are you being treated? How do you feel at night when your spouse go to sleep early and you up thinking in the dark by yourself, feeling like shit and can't sleep?
Or when you laying next to somebody that you don't feel connected to him. Right. We can't be connected. I'll tell you, you can, when you with somebody that you really love and you guys have a really good relationship, the moment something changes, you could tell by the way they breathe. You could tell based on their energy laying next to you. And so that song "Stranger in My Bed" by Tamia, that song is real. You really do. The energy is different. It's like your soul just tells you, start praying for your relationship. Something is wrong. It is very, very clear. I will tell you that. So you're not happy. That's why a lot of those people is on drugs. They are just, they're busy all the time. Anybody who can't sit still and be in a room without noise, be with themselves, go to lunch by themselves, nothing like that, is because you're not comfortable with yourself. You're trying to stay away from reality, and that's not good. You sold your soul for, and you're not even happy. Somebody that I talked about this earlier with somebody, like, you ever notice a lot of nurses aren't really happy with what they do, and it shows in how they treat their patients. They do it because it includes a lot of money, and then you'll have one partner who went to school, followed their dreams, sacrificed, and stuck with what they wanted, and so they're happy despite the long hours of struggle. You still got to struggle, but it's worth it because you picked what you wanted. And then the partner maybe goes and does something that they don't want to do, like they really want to be a teacher and they go and be an engineer, but you don't want to. And then you're mad all the time, you hate your job, everything irritates you, and now they're also resentful towards you because you're happy. You talk about the same things, but you talk about it different. So it creates problems because you chose money over happiness. You chose to allow your jealousy to trump your life. You should have stuck with what you wanted to do, because your heart, if you ever had your heart broken, it feels like it's broken. If you ever felt like you on cloud nine, you for real feel like you were at a Disney movie. Like it's big when you feel it. Why would you trade that off?
I don't see how you could trade it off. Like I really, it's not even it's not close to being a fair trade at all. Like it seems like in a moment, because a lot of people, especially with money. I mean, let's face it. A lot of people, they grew up in poverty or they grew up in a struggle and
Right.
never really experienced a lot of stuff in life. So you get somebody that's gonna come to you and say, I'm gonna take you to Hawaii, I'm gonna take you out of California, I'm gonna take you here, I'm gonna take you there, I'm gonna buy you this, I'm gonna buy you that. In the interim, it looks like, oh shit, like
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's intriguing.
And some start when I'm gonna just do this a little bit. It's like a drug.
Yeah, exactly.
You get wrapped up.
Exactly. You go hit it a couple times, and then when the dust settles, you like,
I want more.
Is this sustainable? Is this something that I could do for the long term? And it's really not, because you could front, you could pretend, but at the end of the day, you got to look at you in the mirror every single day, and you're gonna be reminded about how you feel on the inside, and it begins to wear on you. And that's how, unfortunately, a lot of tragic things happen, like people murdering their spouses or
Yeah.
doing shit like that, because
That fatal attraction stuff.
fatal attraction stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, it does happen, and I just at this age, I refuse to. It's just being cautious about everything when it comes to relationships, because as far as we know, you get one life, and I feel, almost being 40, at least half of the quality of life for me is over. You know what I'm saying? You get older, and the quality of life at 80 isn't the same at 40. At 70 isn't the same.
Unless you set yourself up right.
Unless you set yourself up right. But even then, it's just like, life is different. You're not looking.
Oh yeah.
It's just different beauty, different part of beauty about it. And I just don't want to take any chances now at this age with someone, or rush into something, or try to let some shit slide, because like, okay, they checked off 7 out of 10, or they checked off 6 out of 10, but if those 4 don't align with who I am, I can't do it. I can't. Sorry.
Come on, because it's a forced ranking system. It can't be that you gave up, I want a monogamous relationship, this person wants polygamy, but everything else is great, and I'll be comfortable, I'll be this, I'll be that, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it.
Right. You're fooling yourself, because you're fooling yourself. You're thinking that you can do it, and you might be playing that role, but on the inside, that shit is eating you alive. the shit is eating you alive. If something is important to you like that, you always got to stand on that. You always got to stand on, no matter if you think that you're going to be alone forever, or if you think that you're missing out on a good opportunity, or and no one's perfect. You try to rationalize these things, no one's
Right.
perfect. 80-20 rule, as they say in the Why Did I Get
But
Married?
the 80-20 got to be, like you said, that 20% can't be the top two.
Exactly.
It can never be the top two.
It can't.
It got to be the 5 and belows.
Right. It can't even be the top 4. Like, it got to creep down to number 5 or number 6.
It got to be 5 below, period.
Yeah,
because
below.
The top ones is like loves God.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care if he's a atheist who burns shit down.
Everything else is cool though. He treats me well. He respects me. He got the money. He got this. But he just don't love God. So
he never burned his own house down. So you're gonna give him the chance to?
Right. That part.
Okay, because you don't know what he's done because he hasn't done it to you. You don't know what the other exes or where are the exes. I'm just saying. We don't ask the right questions either, because to your point, we want to validate, we want to overlook, because if you overlook, then you don't have to be accountable. Your heart controls your whole body.
Right.
I just want you to know that. Like I said, when your heart feels good, everything else, it's like things don't even bother you. You're good. You can live. Have you ever noticed that there are homeless people that want to be homeless, and they're couples and they are completely happy because they have decided, I don't want to deal with the world. This is actually what I want at its simplest form. I want to be the closest to God. And that for them is the closest to God. Bills don't control them, things like that. That's a choice they made. It has no look, but I can tell you that I know some people that have settled and they messing up on their people, their family, their best friend, their all of that. And it's like, you really gonna keep letting time go, especially with COVID that just happened. You for real gonna waste more time. Yes, what's in your heart becomes your thoughts, honey. Let me tell you, because
absolutely. And actually, it's the key. I mean, everybody don't believe, got the same beliefs, but I think something I want to paraphrase something that's in the Bible. It says, what's done in your heart is done out loud. You might as well be done. It's done in a physical form. So if you're doing that shit in your heart, you doing it in the physical form. So let's say people that, if you don't cheat on your husband, but in your heart, if you cheat,
but you lusting and watching porn all the time,
you cheating. I mean, that's the word. That's not.
You've allowed it to take over.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you allowed it to take. Yeah, exactly. So it manifests. It's in your heart. Then it's gonna leak out to your mind, and then eventually, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna become that cheater because you having these affairs in your heart and your mind. So it's no different than the physical affairs. So
yep.
That's something that you come to term with reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't want to face that, but that's just what it say. You know what I'm saying? If you believe, you can't believe what you want to believe. That's literally what it says. Unless I'm getting the wrong interpretation, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right. It's right. And it's why when I say things like, I've never cheated in my marriage, I've never done this, I've never done that, I never had a threesome. Those are things that I haven't done because I intentionally did not put myself in a position to even open that box, open the thought to that, those spaces. I didn't consider them. My no was a no, and that was it. Because if you, Ron will tell you, when we go out and do different things, there are men around, there are men that have talked to me. I say hi and I keep going. I never leave the house without my ring. I make it very clear, but I'm not rude, but I don't even explore that. I don't even want to have a conversation. No, I can't even dance with you, because all of those things allow you to feel. If you feel anything that turns you in that direction, of course it's going to feel different than the person that you with, because it's a different person. I don't even want to explore that option. I don't. In my head, my husband is the only person I want touching me. He's the only person that deserves that space. And I don't want to do it but you don't make the decision. I'm not making that decision for him. I make that decision for me. and it benefits him because that's the commitment I made out of my mouth to him. So
Right.
I have to do everything I can to protect that. I have to not act single when I'm not. Even when I want to kill him, I still don't act single.
Right.
You can't do it. And I don't intentionally go out and be like, oh, I'm drunk.
No.
Then don't drink.
Don't drink because
Because for real.
We adults, we know what alcohol does to this. It's literally liquid courage and liquid nerve. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
You get too much drinking, you
liquid excuse.
Or do something that you might regret the next day. So if you know that that's a possibility and you go into a space where you're away from your spouse, where you're going to be around a lot of success, such as the club or some type of turn up, and you know you're going to be around people, I'm not about to get drunk like that because I don't want to open that possibility. I don't want to open Pandora's box. I don't want to do that. You open that possibility. So, not to say don't have a good time and don't drink, but if you
I have an amazing time right next to my brother.
Right. It's that part. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm chilling. Like,
so much so people thought that was my man. Yeah. They try to tell on me, and I'm like, it's my brother, but whatever.
That's what happens when you run your mouth, when you try to gossip and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Looked a whole damn fool. I was like, who? It's like, it's my bro. So I'm just gonna do it out in the open.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Like I'm that goofy.
Most women that cheat don't do that. That's why men and women cheat equally. However, women don't get caught because they gonna tell it motherfucker off top. Don't come to my house. You not meeting my kids. You not being a part of my world. Don't call my phone. Don't do this. Don't do that because my man is still the king on the throne.
Exactly.
Don't buy me no gift. Don't nothing.
I can respect that. I mean, I know it sounds bad, but you know what I'm saying about women. Most women, they not
because the reality is some shit happens. So at least if it happened, could you put some respect on it?
Put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying? Don't embarrass a motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what men fuck up at. Men, they be embarrassing these women and having babies on them and doing it to the neighbor.
Being in pictures
and social media posts and
videos.
Being in videos. Circulating on the internet, and you don't have no idea about, but everybody else do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of shit that's disrespectful. Bringing diseases back, like that type of shit. Like, women typically don't do that type of shit. So, like, I gotta give props to women on that. At least they consider, like, I'm not finna just flat out embarrass this nigga. Like, unless you did some shady shit and they trying to get that get back, which some happens, which some do that, but most they're not finna embarrass you or do no goofy shit like that.
Not intentionally. So even the ones that some of y'all might not be y'all kids' daddy, unfortunately, you don't get to know because she gonna ride that till the wheels fall off. She is not hurting or disrespecting you, sir. She don't care if the other person got $1 million and you got 10. We just gonna be over here with this 10 because, honey, I'm not hurting him. I love him too much. Our parents always taught us don't write nothing down, don't take no picture, don't nothing. My mama taught me that from grade school. So it ain't nothing that I've written that I care about going out, even when I write when I'm mad. Right. Okay, trust me, the person that I was mad at, I told them first.
Right.
Rather they lie. Yeah, they just lie and say that they didn't know.
That part. That part.
I can't. It'd be the lies for me. Honest. So that one, what does it look like? Do you want honest to the point where even if it's something that you may not want to hear, but it will benefit you, or honest in what way?
You know what? I absolutely want that 100% honesty. Sometimes, let's be real, man. Like, you need to hear certain things. Now, I think it's a certain way you're supposed to say stuff. For instance, I'm gonna use this as an example. If we're a couple that normally works out and we stay in shape, and I happen to slip up, and 2-3 months go by, I put on 20-30 pounds, and you notice in 20-30 pounds, and you could keep it real with me. You don't gotta hurt a motherfucking feelings, but you could be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you need to get back on your stuff. Like, you feel me? Or we need to get back on our stuff. You ain't got to be like, damn.
Ooh, babe, we slipping. We got to get back on our stuff.
Exactly. Not you fat ass. Like you getting fat. Like you look fucked up. You fat motherfucker. Like
Or wait till you mad to say something. That'd be it for
exactly.
me. The
Right.
wait until you mad, then you can all of a sudden be honest.
Wait, exactly. That type of honesty. I don't
That's
like.
not love.
That's convenient honesty. That's
That's
honesty.
mean.
Right. That's mean as fuck. It's mean as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I want someone that feel that they can be honest with me about everything. They can be honest with me about everything. It's just I think you want to definitely say it the right way, and that goes for me too. I want to say it the right way. I don't want to. If I feel you're making a bad decision, I'm not going to call you a dumb motherfucker. And why you doing that? I'm be like, you know what? We need to talk. So it's on Meet the Parents. Meet the Parents. They got the circle of trust.
Yes.
Robert De Niro developed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Circle of trust. The circle of trust, man. We honest. We family. You know, we in a relationship. I gotta be able. Like, if I can't be honest with you, I can't be honest with nobody. Like,
and it's hurting me. We a team.
We a team. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be honest with each other. That's at the top of the list too. So that type of honesty, I definitely have to have that. Like, don't see me about to tumble off the bridge and you're not saying nothing because you feel that you don't want to hurt my feelings or you don't want to say no. Tell me. Don't let me tumble off the damn bridge. If you see this shit, you see the play happening, or you think you know, I want to hear it.
Right.
So we got a hard head and we might not listen, or we might not take the advice right.
But at least you did your part in being honest. That's all you could do.
That's all you could do. And if I gotta bump my head and bounce back from bumping my head, then so be it. But at least
just tell me, come here, baby. It's okay. Now this is why I told you not to do that. It's okay. Now let me stitch you up.
That's the nurturing part. That goes with the nurturing part. Like, you see me, you warn me about some shit, and I proceed anyway, and I fuck up. You're not finna come back and tear me down. See, you stupid motherfucker. Oh no, you be like, yeah, baby, I did tell you, but it's okay. I'm about to make sure you all right. Put you, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta hold each other down like that. And I think that makes a strong relationship. That makes it a power couple right there.
I think so too. And the person on the other side of that, now see, baby, this is why I told you. You have to not be defensive too. Don't be embarrassed to make a mistake in front of your partner. You're going to make all the mistakes in front of your partner. It's your partner. Right. You go to bed together. That's your other half. That person is supposed to be a carbon copy of you. So it's nothing that you should do that should be embarrassing. When you mess up, just laugh it off like, or if you can. Ooh, I can't believe I messed up. And take the feedback. At that point, you tried it your way. And you have a right to do that. So now it's time to try the way that was suggested, but don't be defensive and mean and all of that, because now you just added, tried to tell you to begin with, and you taking it as I told you so, and the person just supposed to bandage you up without saying something. Right. No, because now you're listening. They're supposed to say it the right way. Like, honey, this is why I tried to tell you we should do it like this. Like, we should try it like this, or you should try it like that. Take the feedback, because that part is not cool. People feel like, well, you forgive me, you shouldn't have said nothing, or that's why I don't want to tell you nothing. You always got something to say. I would hope we always talk.
Right.
And if I always got something to say in the wrong direction, that means you always keep doing shit. Just like you tell your kids, then stop acting like a child and not thinking us and being inclusive. Because that means I'm telling you things, you're going against it, then you got to come back. Or the reverse. You telling me something, I'm going against it, and I got to come back. Call it what it is. You keep you're messing up because you're not considering your partner and what they're saying. You still trying to move in an I space, and it's not working.
Right.
So the we needs to happen. Okay. So I will end with, ladies, you see how easy this conversation was? It's just as simple as having a conversation. But men, do you see how it took for the man to actually talk and give examples that wasn't nobody was right or wrong in the things that he shared. In the stories that I shared, I didn't say if somebody was right or wrong. The focal point was what it led to, like with the apology, with different things and wanting to come out on the other side of different things I'm going through, because that's the bigger picture. If you could start having your conversations more in a solutions-based way, like, how can we get there? What do you need from me? Here's what I need from you. You know, sometimes you don't have to wait for them to ask. If you know it's something in you, don't sit there like, how long is it going to take them to ask? How mature is that? If you've already determined it, just go and have the conversation like, I need this right now.
Right.
If you can do all of these sexual things, all these sinful things, then why can't you do the things that will contribute to you becoming one or remaining one and have those conversations? I don't understand how people could get naked and show their body, but you can't get naked and begin to grow and have those conversations you could have. I don't understand. But it's why we are where we are. So that's my feedback. And then Ron gives his feedback, and he will actually close this out as the man.
So yeah, just to piggyback, don't be ass backwards. You don't want to be ass backwards with stuff. You always want to be forward, and you always want progression. And it's sometimes discouraging looking at the numbers, to marriage. Of course, in America, I think it says 50% of all marriages are going to end in divorce, and I think it's much higher than that when you talk about first marriages. I think it's about 65%, and so the numbers can be a bit discouraging. But just learning from mistakes of the past, learning that our parents, they were not perfect, and we're from the sweep it under the rug generation, so a lot of stuff we did not know until we got older. So going forward, we want to learn from those past experiences and try to do things differently. And if we have trust, love, and reciprocity, honesty at the forefront of our relationships, across the board, platonic, romantic, and in any other way, I think that makes for a healthy relationship. So, folks, when you get up in the morning and look at yourself in the mirror, if you can look at yourself in the mirror and you don't got no complaints, you ain't got no regrets, and you don't feel no type of way, that means that you're growing as a person. You're doing a good job currently. So keep on doing that. So I hope everybody took everything we said under consideration and really gave it some thought, because it is sincere and genuine. And don't take stuff to the grave, y'all. Get it off. Get it off. Like, I really want to, take the time to shout out my, former mother-in-law. May her soul rest in heaven, that she got that off before she passed. And we was able to have that conversation. It felt good. So, that's what I hope to do to everybody that's in my life. You know what I'm saying? And hope y'all do the same.
Amen. So don't forget to follow us. Definitely make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, go to the famous homie on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And then also Melanin Madam LLC on Instagram, Facebook. You can if you want to. Definitely on TikTok, Melanin Madam, and follow me there. So we will see you on Tuesday. My next two shows will be recorded uploads unless we do something this weekend, because we will all be together. So I might cut the camera on. We'll see. But that is it from us. Have an amazing night, and toasting to love, healing, growing, and resurrection of relationships, love, and family. That is it from us tonight. Have a good night.
Love and peace.